Sophia.
NoonaTalk.
I'm Zara.
I'm Sophia.
And today we are back with a brand new episode, a deep dive once again into J Hope's work, Hope on the Street, Volume 1. Woo! We are Noona Talk. Before we get into all of that, we are Noona Talk, a podcast where we talk about K pop, K drama, K culture. Today is very heavily on K pop. So if you're not a K pop fan and mainly into K dramas, go back to our channel. There are a bunch of playlists which are very dedicated to K drama episodes. But today it's all about Hope on the Street, J in the air.
Yes.
Um, okay, how do you want to do this? Do you want to give me your initial thoughts? What did you think about the album, and then get into individual tracks?
Okay. So initial thoughts are that I would like to watch the show as well. Has it come out? I'm not
Yeah,
aware,
it has. It has.
unfortunately. It's obviously technically an OST album, and to me, it felt like that. Like I liked some songs, I didn't like some songs, but just overall as an album, while I think there was a theme in terms of the actual genre of music. I felt like it wasn't like an album for me. Does that mean, I don't know how to explain this better. But
No,
that's
that
so,
makes
yeah, I like
sense.
some songs. I was ambivalent about some songs, but that was my initial reaction, first listen. What about you?
I think I see your point. I didn't think of it that way at all, actually.
Mm.
But something that I did appreciate was the storytelling in the actual EP, which is really hard to do. And I think that's something that I'm very particular about in albums to begin with. And EPs is a harder challenge with just like 5 or 6 songs. So it makes sense now that you're saying it that it's because of the OST aspect that it's probably more
Mm.
laid out like a story with a very circular narrative, which I did enjoy. And it's made me
Yeah,
very curious about
yeah.
volume two. Because wait, we'll get into it when we're talking about specific tracks, but like I have a
Mm.
specific question. Okay, so the first song is On the Street solo version. What did you think about it?
I have heard this because he did release it before, and yeah, I like it. I like On the Street. I think it's a cool song. In fact, my one of my biggest complaints with the first On the Street, the one featuring J. Cole, was that I wanted more of Hobie, and unfortunately, the one that he did at J Park didn't give us everything because J Park was there. But I'm glad that we now get to hear the full version of On the Street on an album. I think it's a very nice laid back track. I love the I mean, I guess a lot of the production in this album is very old school hip hop laid back vibes, but I think On the Street is a great way to begin that, and it's a great way to like know the beginnings of like Hobie's journey and like his motivations, because his music is so personal that it's a great like if it's obviously, in my opinion, I don't think it's his best song ever, but I do think in order to understand him, it is one of those like top two, three songs which like tell his story as an artist.
Yeah, no, I agree. It's a very pivotal song in his like career, in the sense of like
Hmm.
story, not necessarily in the sense of skill.
Hmm.
And you can go back and watch our reaction to Hope on the Street with J. Cole because we did do a reaction to it. This one specifically, I do like a lot more. Like solo, I think version is really good because you see so much more of J. Hope, and
Hmm.
that's very important. And if you go back to our reaction, you will also hear me say that there was too much J. Cole. Like two verses
Hmm.
was too long. And I think this, like you said, it's a great way to start the album.
Hmm.
It's not, yeah. And it's okay, this is something I should have said in my initial thoughts as well. This album was very, I don't know how to what the word is, but very similar to what I would think Hobie's songs would be like. Like this is what I imagine his sound is,
Hmm.
and this is a sound that he has a lot more control and finesse over than something like Jack in the Box, which was a lot more experimental, really good, very like incredible,
Hmm.
but that was genuinely out of the box, while this is
Yeah.
towing the line
In
of what it is, which is I Wonder featuring Jungkook of BTS. When I first figured out that there was going to be
Wonder.
a Kubi collab. Oh my god, I was so excited because I think they have like the only other song I could think of was Jame Vu, where like their voices have worked together in the past.
Yeah.
Which is also an incredible song. Sorry, which is an incredible song. I feel like I was disappointed with I Wonder. This is what I
Why?
meant when I said it was towing the line because
Mm-hmm.
everything else is mid to early 90s hip hop inspired. This was the one
Mm-hmm.
song which was 80s synth with the like heavy
No, there
guitar.
are. I wouldn't say everything else is like 90s inspired, but yeah.
Okay, yeah, you're right. Even the dance mix isn't very 90s
No, the
inspired, but this one
song with
definitely
Yunjin is also very 80s, and I would say.
You're right. You're actually,
Yeah.
yeah, that's a good point. I didn't think of that. I didn't think of that at all.
Mm.
Okay, so I take my words back. This one, though, however, maybe it was the auto tune of it, maybe it was the auto tune of it, or maybe it was the auto tune of it that I did. It felt very unappealing to me personally. And then when the chorus came on and the auto tune did depart, thank God, um, it became cafe music. Like
Mm.
it didn't stand out enough. And this is something I did feel like through most of the album. And this is quite surprising for somebody like me who has loved P Dog's production in the past, where I was where it genuinely felt like the overall vocals took a step behind the music for the entirety of the album, which some cases stylistically makes made sense, but majority of it I wanted to hear it. I wanted to hear what they were saying.
No, I think it kind of ties into the fact that it's an OST album. Like the music is supposed to support what is happening at the forefront, and like with a lot of dance music, if the lyrics take forefront, the dance does not. So I think maybe that's what I felt. I mean, not for the same reasons, but I think maybe that could be another reason.
You're
But
so
I kind of
smart.
agree
I
with you.
never thought of that.
But I also didn't like the song,
Oh, did you
which
not?
makes no, which makes me very sad because I'll tell you what I didn't like. So this is I do like the genre. I just think they really missed with the execution. I think it felt like it didn't feel like properly realized. Like it felt like an idea, and there was the Jungkook part and there was the Hobie part, and it felt like they couldn't connect it as a song. It felt very disconnected to me. I don't think I'm explaining it as well. But if
No,
you
I
like,
get
yeah,
it. I get it. And you're so right. It just didn't get realized. It felt like it got
yeah,
like they had a time crunch. They were like, abhi publish karna, and they were just like, theek hai,
yeah.
jo bhi hai.
Like I think there was an idea, but I think there is a lot that needed to be done to make it like a fully realized. Like it's honestly it's the level at which it should be, considering the artists that we are listening to and considering the excitement that everybody would have for a hobby for a Kubi collaboration. I really think I was very disappointed.
They fumbled. They
Very,
really
yeah,
fumbled.
definitely. This was a fumble.
Oh, thank God. I thought, okay. I mean, all the Jungkook solos are going to come after us now, but I guess it's fine.
No, I want more. I want better. I want another Kubi sound with incredible music. I want it to be a best song.
Next is Lock Unlock with Nile Rodgers and Benny Blanco. What did you think?
Okay, I had very low expectations from it, considering the previous Nile Rodgers and the
Benny
Seraphim
Blanco.
collaboration and the previous Benny Blanco and Bangtan collaboration. But I love this. It's so fun. Like it's got all the right vibes for me. And yeah, I don't have too many thoughts about it, but this is something that actually like I was playing and I was like, okay, I'm really vibing. And that like guitar outro. We all need guitar outros in our lives.
Yeah, no, I really agreed with the guitar outro. I didn't realize this was the Benny Blanco song because I was listening to the album in my car when I was driving back, and it just said Nile Rodgers.
Um,
And later on, I was like, which one was the Benny Blanco track? Because, like you said, we'd been so poisoned by the last
yeah.
collab that I was just not prepared for it to be a good song. I think similarly, like I think this is like, but now that you've said it, it's so obvious that that's why,
Yeah.
because it's an OST soundtrack. There is the reason is that they have, I don't know, dimmed the vocals of the entirety of this album,
Mm.
which is something like, again, like I don't appreciate being, maybe they should have done a different version for the actual OST and given us better enhanced audio for the album release. Okay, I don't know, featuring Yunjin.
This was my favorite track on the album, in case anyone's wondering. Yeah, I really vibed with it. And I think, like, when I heard this, I felt even worse about the Jungkook collaboration because in this, they do work well together. Like, it's a very cohesive, like, they're very cohesive in the song. Obviously, they like sing the chorus together and everything, but like, otherwise, also, it's just like, it makes sense. And as a song, also, it's really fun, and I really vibed with it. And personally, I know this album is about dance, and this song is like, it's technically like a love song if you think about it. And yeah, I think that's cool. Not that it's a love song, but the fact that it's like, it can be about, in a very classic Bangtan manner. It's a song that could be about loving something or someone, and I think that's cool.
Yeah, that their Bangtan training so hard. They're like solos, maybe way metaphor for something. No, I also really enjoyed the song. I thought the outro with both of them harmonizing together was really fabulously done. I think
Mm.
any chance where Hobie gets to actually sing versus just rap is a great place. Like going back to Jack in the Box, I think Equal Sign was a really good example of that. And this, for me, had very similar tonality. And this is something, I don't even mean this
Mm.
in a negative way or a good way. I just mean this as something that every time I hear him sing, it reminds me of Justin Timberlake from Where Is the Love?
Oh,
I'm not sure why. Maybe it's their pitch is very similar. Maybe it's that
could be.
soft singing. Maybe it's
And like
the
slightly breathy.
cadence of the song. I'm not sure what it is, but every time I hear, like now that I've heard I Don't Know, and every time I've heard Equal Sign as well, I always think of Justin Timberlake in Where Is the Love? And I don't even like Justin Timberlake. Okay, next. What if dance mix? What did you think?
As a lover of What If, the original version, I, f- I feel like I didn't need this version.
If there was any song from Jack in the Box that needed a dance mix, this would not be my pick.
Yeah, thank
It was a
you.
very odd pick to have a dance mix. But I must say, Mr. the Super Freak has done a good job of a dance
Jinbo.
mix. I feel like
Yeah,
yes, Jinbo. I feel like a lot of the mix versions that we get of a lot of original songs have no backing or whatsoever. It's really, a lot of times it's really
yeah.
badly done. I think I can literally only point to maybe Swivel's Euphoria and maybe Tropical Dynamite. This dance mix was really well produced.
Okay,
It
yeah, I
was
agree.
strange though. I have so like
Thank you.
this is
Thank
what I
you.
mean.
Like, that part in the middle was, I'm just like, wait a
Like
minute.
when he's when the chorus is going on and he's like, "What if I'm your hope? What if I'm not the hope?" And it's just like there was a creative decision made, and I want to
Yeah.
know why. I'm 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 so curious. Oh no! Now Jinbo the Super Freaks solos are going to come after us. Okay, last song, and arguably, I think the entire sort of okay, I up for debate for this. What do you think? Is Neuron the title track of Hope on the Street, or is it on the Street solo version?
Oh, I think it's Neuron because it's about roots.
Mm.
And I think it kind of sums up Roots in a great way. It's like it's named after his OG like
Group.
dance. It features like OG hip hop artists that he grew up and dancing to. So it's another on the street featuring J. Cole, It's like one of those people that like it's a throwback to everything Hobie was about. And I think even the music video kind of showcases that, right? It's like little hobby-ish child who's like dreaming about being a dancer and like doing all of those things.
Yeah, you're right. And this is what I meant with the like cyclical nature of the story narrative, where it goes from on the street
True.
to Neuron, and they feel like a good bookend to his like story in
That's
this like EP. um,
hmm.
I thought
In
Neuron
fact,
was one of.
I think, sorry to interrupt you, but sonically it also sounded like on the street part too, like just the rap and like the sing-songy
I
chorus and
enjoyed the
everything.
sing song verse, is what I was going to say. Like, I really
Mm,
liked it. The singing verse was surprising to me
mhm,
because I don't know the other artists at all. Like, I have no idea beyond just like knowing their name about what sort of
mhm,
body of work they have. So I wasn't
mhm,
expecting a singing aspect to it. Like with
mhm.
Yunjin and Jungkook, I knew that there would be some sort of singing, but like here, I really didn't know. So it took me aback, and I think that element of surprise was great, and it
Mm.
helped that the singing was also great. But yeah, Neuron was really well done, and like I said, the entire album has a great essence of like this is who he is, and this is what his sound is. Neuron
Yeah,
really is that. It
yeah,
like she's
true.
that girl.
Yeah, she is. And she's like, it's kind of inspiring. It's got a bit of nostalgia to it. So even if you're not involved in the entire, the ecosphere of Kobe and everything that is him, and even as an album, I think just on its own, it's a really nice chill track to listen to and just vibe to. Yeah. So anyone who's into OG Bangtan, there is an old, I think 2015 or 2016 collab
Collab.
with Keiko featuring RM called Kaja, which is very cool. And Keiko's like a really cool OG
Hip hop artist, yeah.
artist. He was in Dynamic Duo. And yeah, so it's like they've talked about them and they've kind of looked up to them a lot. So I think it's cool. And obviously Human Ray, Tiger JK, MFBT. Or actually, yeah, even June had a collab with them as well. I think that's kind of cool. My final thoughts are I like some songs individually, but as an album, I'm not sure if this is something I will sit and listen to as an album. But it did make me more curious about checking out the actual show and seeing how things go there because, yeah, I want to see how he dances to these songs, which is the point of it all. What about
Mm.
you?
I forgot to say this when we were talking about it, but aside from the shock and awe of it all, what if is one of my this dance mix is one of my favorite songs on the album, on the EP. I
Oh,
thought like
really?
because yeah, I'm so ashamed to admit that.
Okay.
um no, I really after the shock, I genuinely really liked it because what if is a great song to begin with, and then the dance mix just makes, and it's a really good dance mix. So it's like, yeah, like if you took something I like and made it strangely funner, like if you don't pay attention to the lyrics. But this is what I meant. It makes me so
Um,
curious for volume 2. Is volume 2 going to have more mixes like this? Is it going to be more other, like is it going to be original songs? Is there even going to be a volume 2? Like I no longer have love and respect for Bang PD like I used to due to his disappointing business moves. So I can't like ask him these questions in my dreams and heart anymore. However, I
mhm,
want to know like where do we go from here? Does, because if volume 2 intends to have more absurd dance mixes or like other versions of previous songs,
mhm.
Like I have to
Hmm.
go back to Jack in the Box and like, are we getting like an arson jungle mix?
You know, that reminds me, I was at the gym and I was on like I was on the stairmaster and I was really like not in a great place, just trying to push through, and I was doing a hit workout, don't question me. And then Arson started playing randomly, and it's such a great gym song. Why have I never used it for my gym workouts? It's so like pumped up. So I do want an Arson like pump you up for gym.
I use Joke by RM for my like final sprint, even though Flex now it's become too slow for me.
Love it.
But yeah, no, I understand what you mean. Like a pump up version, yeah, maybe
Hmm.
like a pumped up kicks version of Arson would be great. We said pump up, so I had to follow it with kicks. I don't mean like a song about school shooting.
Okay.
But yeah, now like the amount of questions I have and like curiosity I have about volume two is quite a bit.
Hmm.
And does it mean that we're going to have more documentary for which there's going to be a volume two, which is the OST, or is volume two going to be a separate like album altogether? There's the
Much to
questions.
think about.
Yeah, I like the
Hmm.
minute I reached like neuron, I was like, what, what happens now? Like, what happens now? And I think a lot of that has to do with the fact that this album in itself isn't encompassing enough that I just now focus on this EP. It
Yeah.
because there's so many songs in it that it does make me wonder more about the future versus this.
Hmm. Valid.
That was our thoughts about Hope on the Street Volume 1. What did you think about it? Did you agree with our opinions? Tell us in the comments below what you thought about this entirety of an EP. We will be back in exactly 2 weeks with a brand new episode. Will it be about K-pop? Will it be about K-drama? It will be about K-drama. Hint, hint. Maybe I'm feeling tired. Maybe I need a doctor. What could it be about?
Hmm.
Till then, I was Zara.
And I was Sophia. We'll see you next time.